Yo guys, I'm HP, this is Dr. Pink, and welcome to Basic Jazz Guitar Improvisation 2. This is part of a course, Basic Jazz Improvisation, and since jazz improvisation is something which is not done in one lesson, not even if you make a 2 hours lesson, this course gets you step by step through all the things you need to learn and train to get into jazz guitar improvisation. So I strongly recommend that you follow the entire course, and if you're new to the course, that you go back to previous lessons. The main thing about jazz improvisation is that you're able to follow the chords and you know what to do on the chords. And today's topic is the 1-2-5 progression, and I'm gonna explain that in detail. So let's get started. And before we start, please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification button, and also join the HPCrazy Guitar Community. There you can download the material which comes along with this course. Okay, let's get started. In the previous tutorial, Jazz Guitar Improvisation 1, I talked about the 1-4-5 progression, which was in the key of C major, to F major, to G7, back to C major 7. That's called a classical cadence. And now we're going to the next structure, which comes up a lot. This is the so-called 1-2-5 progression. So now we take C major 7. We're again in C major 7. Now we replace the F major 7 with a related chord, which would be the D minor. Why is the D minor related to F? When you take the triad, F here, and the D minor, you will see that D minor is half part of the F major, so they are related, okay? So replace the F with the D minor, so we have D minor, and back to G, so we have the classical progression. Since we are in jazz, we play C major 7 to D minor 7 and G7. Okay? So, let's do that with the backing track, just to have some fun. We just play the chords. The backing track is really simple. It's 2 bars each chord. So 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so on, okay? You might have noticed that the chords don't really sound as jazz would sound, but that will be later. You know, first you need to know the basic chords, and you can already work with these basic chords in this case, another guitar which is recorded makes these specific jazz chords, but if you don't know the basic chords, you first need to know that stuff. Okay, so now what we do on the improvisation. Jazz is a lot of theory, unfortunately, so you need to learn the theory of modes. Since we are on the key of C, you can take the C major, the C major scale as basis for the whole thing. So, you could just say, okay, I just play C major over the whole tune, but then you're not learning jazz improvisation, then you're learning another type of improvisation. So, in jazz, you connect, every chord has its mode, and on the C major, this would be the mode, starting on the C, which is C major. But there it's called Ionian, has a bit silly names, but you need to know those by heart. C Ionian. But let's take this one here. C. So C Ionian here in this is probably that position you guys out there probably all know. C major 7, C Ionian. On the D minor, we play D Dorian. So we do the same notes, but we're starting not on the C, we're starting on the D, and we're ending on the D. What is the difference? It sounds different. First, and on the G, we start on the G7. We do the same thing, but we start on the G. Also sounds different. Why? Because every scale is built upon intervals, and here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That will be the intervals. When we start on the D, is 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 1. And on G, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7 to 1. So the intervals have changed. Okay, this is really important for later, more advanced improvisation. You need to know these basics, and I know it's really tough and it's not really engaging, but I'm trying to make a fun experience for you guys. So the first thing you can do, try to follow the chords by just playing the scale from root to root. C major, from D, D minor, D Dorian, and from G. Let's try that. Challenging enough. D minor, from G, okay, that works pretty fine. So that will be first exercise. Next one, now we were staying in the root position of a major scale. Now we want to take it to another position which is in the range of the chords. C major, D minor 7 to G7. So we start here. C major 7, Ionian, will be this one here. And now we have space to play 2 octaves. On the D minor, we start here. Now we play the intervals from before, which will be then leads to this. Same notes, but it starts from then C, but it starts on D, gives us a complete different pattern. And on the G we start here, G. And now we have the modes over 2 octaves. You can do the same thing again. Now we have less time. We just play the scales or the modes upwards. Okay. By the way, while you do this, also concentrate also on already start to concentrate on the phrasing. How do you do phrasing? First of all, you need to learn to have your foot, 1, 2, on 2 and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Try to play these scales with the foot on 2 and 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And I even made an accent now on the 2 and the 4, okay? So that's really important. That it will take a while, but it also do this. The other thing you can also do, we make a last exercise and then it will be enough for today. Now we make a shape, kind of a shape. Let's do this here. This here. This is a little lick, and we played on the C. Now we want to transport this shape to the next mode, to D Dorian, then it will be this. We want to transport the shape also to the G, this would lead to this. Okay, so how do you transport the shapes to the next mode? It's really simple. You first analyze the lick. It starts on the root note on the C, goes over the next note in the mode to the triad, and then to the fifth. So these are the intervals. I said you also need to know the intervals. 1, 2, 3, 5, and then it makes 1, 7, 5. Okay, that's the shape. Now you transport it in another position. And it's already fun. Try to have, even this stuff is simple and looks like exercises, you can make it look fun and make it sound fun, you know. Also try to make it as groovy as possible, because the phrasing will be the most important thing, whatever you will do in the future. So it's really cool. Now with this little material you already have, you can already start to sound cool. Now we mix this whole thing up from the 2-3 exercises I just did. See how this works? Did it sound like an exercise to you? It didn't. Well, a bit, maybe a bit. But that's the way you start working with chords. You always know which chord you're playing, which mode you're playing. You have a focus on the phrasing, and these are the 3 main parts which are first before you want to do something crazy on the fretboard, okay? Because you always have this thingy following: chord, phrasing, mode. This thing has to be an automatism. You build automatism by learning shapes. Today's shape was 1, 2, 5, and later you will just see this as a whole structure, 1, 2, 5, and not like you don't go from chord to chord. Sometimes you do, but then you make the whole shape. Okay, yo guys, that was basic jazz improvisation 2 with 1, 2, 5 progression in major. Take every exercise serious. If you have not complete control over what you're doing, you will get lost later when it gets more complicated. Now, of course, some guys can say, okay, I mean, I don't care about this stuff. I just play C major and do it with my guts. Of course, you can do that. It's no problem. But later on, if you don't build up these structures I was talking about, then you have no chance anymore. You know, you just build it up, have some fun, make it sound cool, have a cool phrasing. Never forget, the most important thing is you do everything on 2/4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, then. this alone pulls your phrasing back. This is getting a laid-back vibe, and if you're beginners are always in front of the beat, and the most important thing is to be behind the beat. That's more cool, more sophisticated. At least I do believe in this. That's more cool. You can play a few notes with a laid-back feeling and you're the hero. You can play many notes with a runner-up phrasing and it doesn't sound cool. Yo, one more to say. You can download this backing track and the learning material which comes along with this part of the course in the HPCrazy Guitar Academy. Please join there, become a premium member and download the stuff, and please also share this course or this channel or the Guitar Academy with all the friends. And never forget, the hashtag is hashtag HPCrazy Guitar Academy if you find other guys who are working on the same stuff as you. See you guys.